Hey guys, welcome to Pumpy Dump Crypto. Today we wanted to talk about a really interesting story that broke last week about a Missouri mayor who has a really interesting plan involving Bitcoin. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see much. Aaron's going to take over this part. Thanks for tuning in. I want to remind everybody, if you want to like and subscribe to the video, that helps us get this content out to more people.
And you guys are the ones that'll help us do that. As he said, hit subscribe and like. So this mayor in Missouri decided that he wanted, after traveling the world, he's a very environmentally minded person and did a lot of environmental work overseas. He decided that he thought that Bitcoin would be very beneficial in helping his hometown where he's now mayor. So originally he had tried to get $500 for each of the citizens in his town. And it was so popular that they ended up getting $1,000 for everybody, and there's even some left over that they're going to use for environmentally friendly things for the town. So we wanted to talk about that because, for a lot of reasons, because first of all, the mission that he has is great. He's talking about how he wants to help normal people to have access and to understand how to use Bitcoin, because there's a lot of misconceptions about Bitcoin. A week ago, Nate posted something on his Facebook page about buying Bitcoin, and a friend of ours posted, well, it's too expensive now. Well, here's the thing. It's not too expensive. You can buy $5 or $5,000 of Bitcoin, and that's the thing that I think a lot of people don't understand at this point. They think, oh, it's $50,000. Oh, it's too much. I don't have that kind of money. That's a lot of the misconception around buying Bitcoin and investing. And in general, most people, I'd say on average, don't really know much about investing other than basic Roth IRA information.
If that, I mean, yeah. Well, what you're saying is totally accurate in the sense that, I don't know, I think when I talk to people about Bitcoin and crypto, like you were saying on Facebook, they have a tendency to think, well, Bitcoin's $50,000. I mean, today's $55,000, and that's just inaccessible. Somebody said to me that's the price of a small car, and that's not wrong. But you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. And like the mayor of this small town in Missouri is showing us, all you need really is political will. That's really all you need. And it's not hard to find political will if you're giving money away, which we're already doing. We're already giving money away through quantitative easing. We're just giving it away to the wrong people. So this is giving it away to the right people, isn't it?
Yeah, the people that need it the most.
And so let's get into the details.
Sure.
Because I can't see anything.
Yeah, I know. We have, at the top of this one, it talks about how Bitcoin is fundamentally American, which I think is interesting because a lot of people kind of don't view it that way.
No.
And he says it's the most American thing. Our government is built on freedom and personal liberty and rights and self-sovereignty and all of the things that Bitcoin really is. And that is so true because this gives people access to, most people do not have the kind of access for investment that the rich and the wealthy have. So a very small percentage of people are really benefiting from our financial system. But Bitcoin, everyone has access to that. So it's a very American thing. It's basically making it for everyone, usable for everyone. And that's a huge difference from our current financial system.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and I think this is a lot of liberty right here. It gives freedom to people worldwide. The freedom to be able to custody your own assets, earn interest on your own assets if you want to, and to transact with anyone on Earth. Why can we not be world citizens?
So what we've got is, he talks about his environmentalist and how he believes Bitcoin education holds the key to growing the prosperity, well-being, and sustainability of his town. And here it says, Stewart's plan to dole out Bitcoin to people of Cool Valley is already fully funded. He explains the plan is being paid for by private donors. So basically he asked for, I'm not sure what platform he asked for it, but I'm assuming it's something like GoFundMe or something like that. Private donors gave everyone the chance to have $1,000 per household.
That's really cool. I wonder how he got the funding exactly, if it was a GoFundMe or if it was just random people from the Bitcoin and crypto community. You know, I was thinking about something we talked about before we started actually recording this episode, and I thought it was interesting. You said that the mayor, his name's Jayson Stewart, right? That he was formerly an environmentalist. Is that right?
Yeah.
Where does it say that again?
It's up here at the top.
Oh, go ahead. Where's
it?
It's
Stewart,
right there?
a passionate environmentalist who spent years cleaning up the world's ocean and ran on a platform of correcting old mistakes.
So let me ask you a question. Why is it that a former environmentalist is so interested in this dirty, polluting technology, Bitcoin? Because as we know, what was that dude last name? Ken whatever, famous guy that wanted to get up in front of the world and say that we're going to have to build all these extra power plants just to power Bitcoin and he wishes that all the young people would put their energy into actually fixing the world. How the hell is this not fixing the world?
Okay, so here's two things. First, in that, one of the things that I would say is that, first of all, there's an easy way to make this sustainable. We live in the Southwest. We have sunshine something like 300 days out of the year.
Yep.
And if you have solar panels, then you are basically creating a system where you're utilizing the sun for power. So that's not a viable excuse not to buy Bitcoin and that it's polluting the planet.
Not only are you self-sustainable and you're creating your own autonomy, that makes your community stronger. Like, all you need is about 4 or 5 solar panels, 250 watt, and 1 amp miner. And, what is that? A couple $1,000, maybe some inverters. And you can join the Bitcoin economy on your own in a sustainable way. Okay, that is sustainable, and it creates, continuous income. Even in the bear market, you're going to make that return on investment in a couple years, in my opinion. Now, this show is not financial advice. We're just sort of talking about ideas and things that we're implementing ourselves, because as you can see behind us, we have crypto miners, and we're building out solar here. So I actually think that Bitcoin is a huge magnet for green energy development, for sustainable growth. It's not what they're saying in the media. I mean, it's whoever adopts it, right? Well, and I'm adopting Bitcoin, and I choose to do it sustainably.
Well, so, and also there are there are some big firms that are setting up fully sustainable setups where they're mining. So that is not currently the case for Bitcoin, for all of Bitcoin, obviously, but pretty soon that's going to be the way that Bitcoin's mined, because who wants to spend that much on energy?
Well, and even still, like Michael Saylor shared a metric that he recently got from some of the largest Bitcoin mining firms in North America, and the publicly traded ones too. And we know that at least 50% of the blockchain is being mined sustainably. Now, that's a lot better than most sectors that I know of, isn't it? I mean, and it's not perfect. So I do think in the Bitcoin community, we need to obviously acknowledge things that need to be improved. But I see this as a huge magnet to continue improving the world. I don't.
And
here's
it's
an
a
example.
Huge opportunity for anyone.
So here we got basically universal basic income, but it's being done in a way where I think it's encouraging long-term thinking, and it's encouraging really to think of Bitcoin not as a speculative asset that's just going to moon in a day. Residents are required, aren't they?
They're encouraged. They're encouraged to hold it for a period of time. And as Stewart himself said, like, most of the people are thinking long term. And I think the real valuable piece to this is that, first of all, you're giving, like he said, it's like a universal income situation. You're giving it to people, and you're empowering them to have control over their financial future. And you're also providing information to teach people, because most people do not have a financial education. We both have MBAs. So obviously we have...
But we didn't when we got started in Bitcoin.
No, we did not.
No, we did not.
We were teachers.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is I think a lot of people don't have that kind of education and knowledge about financial management. So...
But we have a responsibility to get that education out to people in this community, because I think there's just so much... everyone likes to use the word FUD, but I'm not going to use the word FUD. Okay, look, there is some of that fear, uncertainty, and doubt is justified, but honestly, it's on our community to get the actual data out there and to share the real stories that are actually happening, okay? And look, these are real faces. Bitcoin has helped us a lot, and we're going to help our community a lot. And I think that it's something people should be involved in. This is a fantastic initiative by this mayor in Missouri.
Yeah. One more thing I wanted to say that I really liked that he said is he makes it clear that he is first and foremost interested in seeing regular people rather than government entities benefit from Bitcoin. How much that would be nice to see in our world, because there's been a huge change in the wealth gap, and the middle class is shrinking. And we all know this from facts and information. And this is a great way to provide that, to bridge that gap.
And what's more, if you're already involved in crypto, or you're new, or even if you're new to the space, you may have no idea about this, but this has been really just a crazy year in terms of institutional adoption and the speed we've seen things move at. And there's all kind of whale games that are played. And, a lot of that has to do with sort of getting that coin from the small retail investors, the minnows and the shrimp and the octopuses and the octopi. I'm sorry, I misspoke. And the crabs and there's a whole classification system for how many Bitcoin you have. If it's less than 10 or less than 100. And my point is that that fear, that uncertainty, and that doubt, it benefits the big players. Okay, that is true.
So this is
it does benefit them big time. And look, they can throw all the narratives they want out there in the world, and there is some degree of truth to any narrative. But I also think that there's reality, and reality in my mind is this is not like some fake Ponzi. Because why does everybody want to keep acquiring more and more? Okay, this is actually a standard, a global standard, and it gives us some small semblance of security in a very uncertain world, doesn't it? The Bitcoin blockchain.
The reality is, like, if you look at the financial markets, they're not any more safe as an asset. So, I mean, really, what do average people have that they can acquire wealth? I mean, it's buying a house.
Perhaps the best performing asset of all time that has a really good Sharpe ratio.
Yeah.
Bitcoin. Again, guys, not financial advice, but I do want to talk about this because we just keep hearing about how this is something that's a tool for wealthy, white men like me. And yeah, there's plenty of us in the space. I'm not going to lie. And I wasn't wealthy when I started this, and I'm still not wealthy. But look, Bitcoin has helped empower us. And I'm taking care of my family. We are taking care of my family. I'm not the one that just made this Bitcoin decision. I discovered it, but homegirl here actually wanted to do it. So that matters,
And we stuck with it because our original strategy, like from the beginning, was hodl through it forever. And we have taken some
out.
It's
been 8 years.
For to buy a house and our Tesla and all that. But
don't let them scare you guys.
But it's we still hodl.
Get educated on financial matters, and do your own research. Because I spent a lot of time doing my research, and it really has paid off. And I mean, trust me, guys, the super wealthy out there, they're doing their research in the form of hiring very smart people.
They hire a lot of people to do their work. Yeah. We need to do it ourselves.
So, they're going to say,
we need to keep ourselves in the know.
They're going to talk whatever they want to say about Bitcoin, but the blockchain shows what's occurring, and we know that there's supply shocks. And we know that the fundamentals are strong for Bitcoin. And, I think Jayson Stewart must have had that idea just like the president of El Salvador, Nayib Bukele. He had that idea as well, that we can leverage this machine, this monster, this artificial intelligence that is Bitcoin. We can harness that for good, for our uses too. It doesn't have to be this top-down movement. It can be bottom-up. And that's what got me excited and started in Bitcoin in 2013. When we were living in China. And this is why I want to see this continue. So this is our call to all the mayors out there. And in New Mexico, because we live here in the 505. And by golly, we need this, okay? We need our people to have a shot at making some money. And yes, they should be forced to hodl. Force it in law, man. Make us hodl for 5 years, Don't give out free money. Give out investments. Help us, I think the government can empower us. Government can empower us. It's not all bad, guys. All right. Thanks for tuning in today and subscribing. You have any closing thoughts?
I think you just about covered it all for me.
I had to do my preach right there.
Oh, I know you did.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Bye.